Hello, welcome back to Access. I'm Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we are in the lovely PlayStation room at
It's
E3.
all right, isn't it?
It's a little oasis of calm. They've got a little studio here we can talk to you about. And what we're going to talk to you about today, Days Gone, which is the new Sony Bend action-adventure post-apocalyptic game, which we saw at the conference. Well, we are going to tell you about some things you did not see at the conference.
Yeah, because you were lucky enough to go behind closed doors, weren't you, Nath?
I did.
I wasn't lucky enough.
Nobody else on Team Access was.
This is all news to me as well, so please tell me everything.
So I've made a little list, but jump in where you want, man.
Okay.
Basically, they were pretty open. They told us a lot about the game because some of these demos, they really just put out what they would like us to see and know about. So I guess a bit of background.
Yes,
They
please.
said we are 2 years after a pandemic, which has basically ruined everything. And this pandemic turns people into what they call freakers.
Right.
And those are the Hordes that we saw.
Right.
The little one, they're called Newts. And very specifically, the name, you're not going to be shocked, the name of them when they're all together are Hordes.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
They did say there is different sizes of Hordes, and you will find them in the open world. There's an open world.
It's an open world?
I'm going to come to that in a second.
Okay.
You are a biker. You knew that.
Got that.
Your name is Deacon.
Okay.
You are now a bounty hunter in the post-apocalyptic world. There is a traumatic event which has led you to be like a sad man now on the edge of the world.
I think I was getting that from the trailer.
Yeah. Bad stuff has happened to him. They're not saying what. What is cool though, he's now, one of the things they said is, someone in our little session said, are there going to be other sorts of vehicles you can drive? And they said no, because he's fitted his bike out specifically for the apocalypse. You think about like all the time, does it ever worry anyone else when you're watching The Walking Dead and you see like a highway or freeway full of cars and you're like, how do you drive down that?
Yeah.
You're stuck now on a bike, and also you can kind of go off-road.
Yeah.
So his bike is for the apocalypse. There's also a mobile inventory. He keeps all sorts of stuff in there. So I guess it's a bit like the saddlebags in The Witcher, except you actually have to go to, if you had to go to Roach all the time to get all your stuff out.
Yes.
So the bike is where you keep a lot of your stuff.
So literally you might have an inventory, but you also have like a separate inventory that you have to go to and access.
Yes,
So
I think it's like a massive bag.
I like the survival choices I can see presenting themselves to me now.
Bag with wheels. That's why he was so keen to get back to his bike. Obviously, because the bike is faster than Freakers as well. That helps.
His life is in that bike.
Yeah, and it is a totally open world.
Okay.
And in exciting ways. When I saw it in the demo that they showed at the conference, the bike kind of going down that kind of muddy hill in the kind of foresty area, I did think, this does remind me of The Witcher, but if Roach was a bike.
Yeah.
But it's got that same kind of it's obviously, I think they've made it so that bike can go off-road and can explore everywhere. They talked about waypoints. They talked about fast travel. This is a big, you can go anywhere.
Right.
There are maybe not full towns, but there's like deserted suburban areas. There are settlements with humans in there. You're going to be encountering other human beings. There's a whole story. There's going to be story missions. There's going to be side missions.
Yeah.
This is an open world game.
This is a big game.
Yes, exactly. There's crafting in this game.
Okay.
There is a crafting system. You will be scavenging stuff, and then they spoke about that you saw when Deacon looked in the truck right at the beginning, lifted up the hood.
He's looking for stuff.
He took out an oil filter and obviously made a suppressor for his gun.
Yes.
But they told me a cool thing, which is that you can also take out airbags and make airbag bombs.
Yes, that is a cool thing.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
I want to see that.
So the idea is, the world is going to be full of these kind of interactive. You take parts, you make stuff, and the stuff basically does damage to things.
Deacon's like the opposite of me if I was in this world, where I'd look under the, maybe I find a car and look in the bonnet and just go, nope, no idea.
The airbag might go off in
no
your face.
idea. Yeah.
And also when the Horde, the main interaction with the Horde was running away from it.
Yes.
And I loved that. There were questions obviously asked were, do you have how many can you get on screen? What's the limitations?
So many.
How big? Then I said so the Hordes are, they said they didn't really want to put a number on it, but the Hordes do go up and down in size. Some are going to be more manageable than others. The idea is you run the heck away from them, but they cut you off. So I think it sounds like the Horde encounters, when you find them, they will be in pretty carefully designed areas,
right?
And with pathways back to wherever you want to get out, which are shut down, and so they'll try and challenge you to kind of, it's like a kind of little mazy kind of gameplay.
I was getting that from what we saw.
Certainly, the sawmill that we saw in the level was designed that way. The other thing was, they said, do you have like a name for this that enables it? And they said, well, we have a very good programmer called Tom. So maybe Tom is the name of the thing that enables this technology, which is quite funny. But they gave loads of props to their programming team. Said it looks fantastic. Also said that in the real game, they said that to make it the demo fun and also so they didn't get killed every time they showed it off. The horde is slightly toned down. So someone said, these guys are going down pretty easy, like flowers.
Was someone saying that?
No. Oh, so someone not like flowers. That was my embellishment.
No, but did they go down? I mean, I
mostly one bullet per.
Right.
Per freaker.
Okay.
But they said that was to show it off. And in the real game, it's you're going to have hard
it's going to be more difficult.
And did you know the kind of the ambient, the environmental interactions, shutting down pathways, blowing stuff up?
Yeah.
That is very much a part of the horde encounters.
That was fantastic when like he shot out the sort of bridge, the wooden bridge kind of part collapsed underneath them.
Yeah, there was a few of them.
Stuff came out like through the wall, burning freakers.
And there was one that you didn't see because actually one of the things they showed us about, they wanted to get across the idea that it's an open world and you can go whichever direction you want. So they went a different path through the sawmill trying to escape.
Right.
Ended up in the same place but went through a whole different route of traps and interactive things. At one point they were in an actual bit of the sawmill. It was a bit quiet for a second. Then a freaker came out. Do you remember the kind of the square filling up that happened when the newt attacked him? And when the square filled up, he shot the newt?
Yeah.
Well, he had like a physical encounter with this other freaker. And when it filled up this time, he kind of punched him in the face and then split his head open in two on a sawmill that was next to them.
Oh.
So these kind of environmental kills.
Right.
Big part of the game, but certainly of these kind of encounters. And it just makes me think every time I encounter a horde, that just it seems like loads of fun. Even if the huge payoff is the first time you do it, because you're like, you want to be challenged. Like, the second time I'm going to know it a little bit, but can I get through it the first time, reacting to stuff, picking up on where that's going to be so much fun. I was like properly buzzing for that when I came out of this little.
Puts me a little bit in the mind of almost like a sort of Uncharted set piece, like where they somehow managed to weight it so perfectly that you
can just about do it.
You just about do it. Things just present themselves to you at the right time,
Make
and
you seem like that kind of action hero,
and you feel like you've made that decision. And really, it's very clever gameplay design.
Yeah, exactly. Someone else has done that for you.
Yeah.
So a couple more details. It's in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
That's where it's set. And the reason that they kind of chose that is you can kind of tell by the woods in the demo, is because there's lots of different kind of terrains and climates even in a fairly small geographical area.
Right.
So they were talking about mountains, high deserts, wind, rain, sun, coastline, I guess if it's Pacific Northwest.
I have a question that you might not be able to answer.
Okay.
Do they talk about any wildlife at all?
No, actually, and no one asked.
Okay.
And that was a shame. We should have done.
Well, don't worry about it. Next time. I mean, if I'd been there, I would have asked it, but never mind.
And they're going to get this a lot, and they got it in this session. Someone said, is it a bit like The Last of Us? And they were just like, no. The Last of Us, their encounters were, hey, here's 5 clickers. That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here are dozens and dozens and dozens of...
A tide of freakers, basically.
And they said the feel of the game is totally different. Like, the kind of similarities obviously in genre and maybe in a bit of the kind of the scene setting. But they were very clear. This is a run and gun action game. You're going to be you get like
I'm glad.
Every bullet I had in The Last of Us was my best friend, and in this one, I looked down at the ammo count. Actually, I don't know if it was the same in the demo they showed on stage. And at one point, he had 580 bullets.
Yeah, okay, good.
Like, you know what I mean? So you could just run and shoot, and then reload and shoot and shoot and shoot.
Excellent.
So that is what we're looking at. That is Days Gone. Days Gone
really exciting.
You're a biker, you're in an open world, you're a bounty hunter, which is, I guess, where the side missions come in. You're in the Pacific Northwest of America. There's loads of freakers, and you're going to shoot them all in like this. They called it an extreme action game.
Right.
That's their pitch for it. So that's what we're looking at, and that's kind of what they didn't show you on stage. I hope that you liked that. Let us know in the comments what you think about Days Gone, and what you think might be in the game, what you hope is in the game. Don't forget to subscribe, because we have got loads more coming up from E3 and beyond.